Welcome back to Nerdwork Nexus. Today we're diving into something that's really impacting every industry out there.
Yeah.
The engineering talent shortage. This could impact everything from those big infrastructure projects to the latest tech gadgets that we're all using.
Right.
So whether you're in industry, maybe you're an educator, maybe you're someone who is dreaming of having an engineering career, this episode is definitely for you.
For sure, this talent gap, it's not just about the numbers. It's like you said, it's impacting all these different sectors, all these different parts of our lives. It's about skills and diversity and really needing to rethink the whole system, how do we train engineers? How do we get them excited about these fields? How do we keep them in those fields?
Right. And it's interesting because you mentioned, this idea of national plans. This is interwoven with things like the Build Back Better Act and the CHIPS and Science Act.
It really is. These are ambitious plans that need a skilled workforce to make them a reality.
Absolutely. And, right out of the gate, we're hit with this stark reality check.
Yeah.
The U.S. needs something like 400,000 new engineers every single year.
That's a lot of engineers.
Projections show that we're probably going to be short by about 133,000 each year.
Wow, so we're not even close.
No, I mean, that's not even a gap. That's a chasm.
It is. It's a huge problem, and it has huge implications for the economy.
Absolutely. So we've got this huge demand.
Right.
But where is the disconnect? Why aren't we churning out, all these engineers that we need?
Well, I think one of the big culprits here is what we call a skills mismatch. Right now, industries are really hungry for specific types of engineering talent.
Really?
Software engineers, industrial engineers, civil engineers, electrical engineers, those are booming.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're seeing this surplus in other fields like materials, chemical, aerospace, mechanical engineering.
So it's not just a lack of engineers.
Yeah.
It's a lack of engineers with those very specific skills
Precisely.
that these jobs that are opening up need.
It's a matter of alignment.
Okay.
We need to figure out how to better align what we're teaching and how we're training with what the industry actually needs.
Right.
And to add another layer of complexity to this, the rise of new technologies, things like generative AI, that's only going to shake things up even more.
Right. I mean, those skills that maybe we're teaching right now are rapidly becoming, not even needed anymore.
Yeah, exactly. We need to be thinking ahead, thinking about what skills will be needed in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so skills mismatch. Check. But I'm seeing another red flag waving here in our research. Women make up only about 16% of U.S. engineering.
That's a problem. It's about the talent pool.
Yeah.
If we're excluding such a large portion of the population, we're limiting our potential.
Absolutely. And it's not just gender diversity that's lagging here. Minority groups are also significantly underrepresented.
Absolutely.
What's crazy is there was this study that found that just doubling a number of women in engineering could shrink that talent gap by 30%.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a game changer right there.
Yeah.
Right.
It's about bringing in different perspectives, different experiences, different ways of thinking.
Yeah.
And that leads to better solutions, more innovation.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked skill mismatch. We've talked diversity. But there's this other leaky faucet in this whole talent pipeline that we really need to talk about.
Okay.
We're losing potential engineers at every single stage, from high school all the way to, after they graduate from college.
Yeah, that's right. It's a leaky pipeline. Indeed, we've got people expressing interest in engineering early on, but very few actually end up getting those degrees, and even fewer then go on to have actual engineering careers.
It's crazy, right? Like only 13% of those high schoolers that say, hey, I'm interested in engineering, actually stick with it and get that degree. Where are we losing them and why?
I think it's a complex issue. It could be the demanding coursework, lack of support, lack of mentorship. Maybe they discover different passions along the way. It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah. And here's the real kicker, right?
Okay.
Even those who graduate with those engineering degrees don't always stay in the field.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Less than half actually step into engineering roles right after college.
So we're not doing a good enough job of showing them what's possible with an engineering degree, what kind of exciting careers are out there.
Yeah, maybe Maybe we need to do a better job of selling it.
We do. We need to get them excited about the possibilities.
Yeah.
And then once they're in those roles, we need to make sure they feel valued, they feel fulfilled, they feel like they're making a difference.
And we can't ignore this other alarming trend that we're seeing.
What's that?
Trend. Women are leaving engineering at a much faster rate.
It's true, and that just exacerbates the diversity problem we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. Throws gasoline on that fire.
It does. It does. We need to create a more supportive environment.
Yeah.
More mentorship opportunities, more inclusive workplaces.
Absolutely. All right. It seems like we keep dancing around this idea of reskilling and upskilling.
Yeah. It's not just about finding new talent. It's about maximizing the talent we already have.
Absolutely. So we need these really robust learning and development programs.
We do. We need to empower those employees to grow, to adapt, to keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of technology and engineering.
But here's the rub.
Okay.
A lot of these companies, especially those in, engineering-heavy industries, aren't investing enough.
It's true, and there are a few reasons for that.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's budget constraints. Sometimes it's just a lack of understanding about the long-term benefits of L&D. And sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes there's a fear that if they invest in training their employees, those employees will just take those skills and go work for a competitor.
Yeah, it's like they're afraid to make their employees too valuable.
Exactly. It's a short-sighted view because in the long run, investing in your employees is the best way to stay competitive.
Right. Because those skilled employees are the ones that are going to make those breakthroughs and come up with those innovations.
Absolutely. They're the ones who are going to drive the company forward.
So it's kind of this classic case of misaligned incentives.
Yeah.
Right?
We've got companies hesitant to invest in sector-wide upskilling because they're worried about their rivals benefiting.
Right.
We've got universities focused on these long-term academic goals that might not necessarily align with the immediate needs of the industry.
Right.
And we've got government policies that, they're not always as nimble and responsive as we need them to be.
It's like everyone's working in their own little silo and not really talking to each other.
Exactly. And that lack of coordination is a huge obstacle.
Yeah.
We need a more collaborative approach where companies, educational institutions, and policymakers are all working together.
Right. All pulling in the same direction.
Exactly. We need to be on the same page if we're going to solve this problem.
One strategy that we came across that seems to be gaining a lot of traction is this idea of strategic workforce plan.
Instead of just reacting to these shortages after they happen, you're actually trying to anticipate what skills you're going to need down the road. You're identifying emerging technologies, looking at potential gaps, and then creating targeted training programs to get your workforce ready.
I love that. And we found a really cool example of this in action.
Oh, tell me about it.
There's this major online retailer. They actually mapped out something like 20,000 vacant technical roles.
Wow.
And they realized that they couldn't just rely on hiring new folks.
Right. They had to look internally.
They had to upskill their own people.
Exactly.
And so they did. They committed something like $700 million.
Wow.
To train 100,000 employees by 2025.
That is a serious commitment.
That's putting your money where your mouth is.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that's not just investing in their employees. That's investing in the future of their company.
It is. It's a smart move.
Okay. Another fascinating solution that we stumbled upon was this idea of a common taxonomy for engineering skills.
So what you're saying is like a universal language for engineering skills?
Yes. Imagine if we had like a Rosetta Stone for engineering skills. So everyone, whether you're a company, you're a university, you're an individual, could understand, what's needed, what skills are necessary for different roles.
That would make things so much easier. Right. It would streamline the whole process.
Absolutely. Companies would be able to find the right talent. Universities would be able to design more relevant programs, and individuals would know exactly what skills they need to develop.
And we actually found a state that's piloting this.
Oh, wow.
It's this public-private partnership.
Okay.
And they're using they're using data analysis. They're interviewing employers to create this common language.
That's a great example of collaboration.
Okay, another piece of this puzzle is retraining existing employees.
Right. Instead of always looking externally.
Right.
Let's tap into the potential within.
Yes.
There are so many people who are eager to learn new skills, to advance their careers. And think about those engineers that maybe are in those fields that have a surplus, right?
Yeah.
We could retrain them.
The company gets the talent they need. The employee gets to expand their skill set.
And we actually found this global consumer durables company that implemented this really cool experiential learning program.
Oh, nice.
So instead of, just kind of sitting through lectures and stuff.
Right.
They're actually giving their employees hands-on experience.
I love that.
With real-world projects.
That's so much more engaging.
It's so much better, right? So they get to level up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked retraining, but it all kind of comes back to that leaky pipeline that we talked about earlier, right?
It does. We can retrain all we want, but if we're not addressing the root causes of why we're losing people in the first place, it's not going to be a long-term solution.
Absolutely. So we need to, I think it starts early. It starts with sparking that passion for STEM early on, and then, keeping that flame burning.
We need to show them that engineering is cool.
Yes.
It's exciting. It's about making a difference in the world.
And that's where I think those collaborations between companies and educational institutions become really crucial. We got to align those curriculums with the needs of the industry, create those seamless pathways from the classroom to the workforce.
I couldn't agree more. We need to break down those barriers between education and industry.
And there are companies out there that are already doing this. There's this one aerospace giant that partnered with high schools to develop a curriculum focused on advanced manufacturing.
That's fantastic. That's building the pipeline from the ground up.
Exactly. And it's not just about, those 4-year degrees. We found this tech company that teamed up with community colleges.
No, I love that.
Across the U.S. To offer this AI workforce program.
So they're recognizing that there are multiple pathways to a successful career in engineering.
Not everyone needs that bachelor's degree to contribute to the field.
Exactly. And this is where diversity and inclusion comes in again.
Right. Yes.
It's not just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do.
It is the smart thing to do.
Diversity fuels innovation.
Absolutely.
When you have teams with different backgrounds, different experiences, different perspectives, you get better solutions.
It just makes sense. Okay, so we've got all these pieces, right? We've got strategic workforce planning, common taxonomies, retraining programs, partnerships between education and industry initiatives to boost diversity and inclusion. But are we missing something? It feels like we need something to kind of tie all of this together, right?
We need a core orchestrator, a central hub that connects all the stakeholders.
Okay, now you're talking. Imagine this platform where companies can post their talent needs. Universities can showcase their programs.
Right.
Government agencies can track progress.
I love it.
And provide support.
That's what we need, a central nervous system for engineering talent development.
Yes. And not just for companies and institutions, for individuals too.
Absolutely. Aspiring engineers could use this platform to explore career paths, to connect with mentors, to find the right educational programs for them.
It could revolutionize how we nurture engineering talent.
I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
Me too. And this hub could also help us track the impact of all these initiatives so we could finally see what's working, what needs to be tweaked.
Data-driven decision-making.
Yes.
That's what we need.
Absolutely. All right. So speaking of data, earlier we talked about that scary projection of 133,000 engineer shortfall every year.
Yeah.
Do you think that we could actually turn that tide if we implement these solutions effectively?
I'm an optimist at heart.
Okay.
And I believe that we can if we work together. We can absolutely change the trajectory and create a brighter future for engineering.
We're talking about people's lives. We're talking about the future of innovation. We're talking about whether the U.S. remains a global leader.
Exactly. The stakes are high.
In science and technology. For our listeners out there, for those folks tuning in, what what's one concrete action, one takeaway that they can implement in their own lives or their organizations right now?
I think it starts with a simple question.
Okay.
What am I doing to contribute to the solution?
Okay.
If you're an industry leader, are you investing in your employees' professional development? Are you actively recruiting from diverse talent pools? If you're an educator, are you equipping your students with the skills they need to succeed in this rapidly changing workforce? And if you're a student, explore your interests, seek out mentors, find communities that support your growth. Don't underestimate the power of your own initiative.
We all have a role to play.
We do.
And it's time to move beyond just awareness and take action. The future of engineering and frankly, the future of our nation depends on it.
Well said. I couldn't agree more.
That's a powerful message to end on. So a huge thank you to our expert for sharing their insights and passion for this really critical topic.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And to our NerdWork Nexus listeners, we encourage you to continue this conversation.
Yes.
Share your own ideas and be part of the solution.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep those nerd circuits firing and stay curious.